Today we are continuing with transitional words and phrases. Remember our objectives. Make it a little bit bigger. I can recognize transitional phrases and identify their function within an expository piece. TEKS 4.11bi. When I write, I can use different sentence patterns, sentence lengths, and connecting words that combine phrases, clauses, and sentences. ELPS 5F. So this is the part that we're focusing on. We are connecting words that combine, we're using connecting words that combine phrases, clauses, and sentences. And those are called transitional words and phrases. I'm going to go ahead and move forward to the part that we are working on today. So here we have the transitions, some of the transitions that we're going to be working with today. However, but, despite this, nevertheless, yet, still. These are phrases that express alternate ideas. Alternate means instead of the something different, instead of. That's an alternate idea or an opposing idea. So something that's opposite. Here's a sentence. I have watered my garden every day for the past 2 weeks. Nevertheless, it is still burning up. Okay, so they use the transition nevertheless. This is something that she's doing. She's watering her garden. And you would think that if you water the garden, it's gonna grow and bloom and turn green. But instead, it's still burning up. So it's doing something opposite. So we use the transitional word nevertheless. I have watered my garden every day for the past 2 weeks, comma, in spite of this, it is still burning up. So this means the same thing, in spite of this. That means that even though I'm doing this, this is still happening. It's not fixing the problem. So these are two different transitional phrases or words that we can use to show that something opposite is happening to the beginning part of the sentence. You will see more of these in the menu of transitional words and phrases on your assignment. So then we go back to our assignment. In your assignment on slide number 9, you have some the sample sentences that we just read. There's one more. I wanted to go spend the night at my cousin's, period. However, I was afraid I would get homesick if I went. So here they used 2 different sentences, and the second sentence was something that was different than the first sentence, him saying that he wanted to go spend the night at my cousin's. So they used the word however. On slide number 10, we have the transitional phrases that show alternate ideas, however, but, and notice there's a comma after all of these, despite this, nonetheless, in spite of this, on the other hand, still, nevertheless, regardless, yet. So you want to then go ahead and use some of these examples to write your own 2 examples. And remember, you can use any of these as a starting, like you can say something that you've been doing and then something that turned out differently than what you expected. Or you can say something that you want to do or somewhere where you want to go, but then an alternate idea that maybe you'll get in trouble so you don't do it or something like that. So you're going to use these sentences here. So I am actually going to copy these. And then on page 11, you will write these in. You have the model sentences here. Let me make them a little bit smaller. And then you will use the text box to write your sentences. And there's your text box for you. I'll put an asterisk there so that you know that that's where you can start typing. When you start typing, and if you need to write more than 1 line, which you should because you're writing 2 sentences, the text box will continue to get bigger as more lines come up. And so this is where you're going to write your sentences. You can pause the video. Oh, here's some examples. Transitional words and phrases. Here's however, similarly, but. I wanted to spend the night at my cousin's. Blank, I was afraid I would get homesick. I just read that one to you, so you should know which one would go there. I wanted to go to the movies. Blank, I didn't have enough money. Jacob loves soccer. Blank, his sister enjoys soccer too. So notice you have two contrasting sentences. These two, the first sentence is different than the second sentence. The first sentence is different than the second sentence. Like they're saying different things. This one, it's saying that they both do the same thing together. So figure out which one of these transitional phrases you're going to put in each of these sentences. You can pause the video while you think. This one is the one that is similar ideas. So we use similarly because they're similar. This one I had already read to you. Actually, it should be with a capital letter H because it's the beginning of a sentence. However, I was afraid I would get homesick, so he didn't want to spend the night after all. I wanted to go to the movies, but again, oh, this one is a comma, so then we can put a lowercase but. We don't need a capital letter. But I didn't have enough money. So but says something opposite. However, also is something alternate. But I can see how. Oh yeah, they could both work separately. So now it's your turn for you to write two sentences that use one of the transitional phrases for expressing alternate ideas. And then you will do that on slide number 11 in your assignment. Here's another one. Sharon wanted to go to the party, comma, however, she is babysitting. So she can't go to the party because she's babysitting. As we finish along, what type of transitional phrase is being used in each sentence? We have 4 different types of transitional phrases.